friends. Welcome to episode number 2 of Kpop Weekly Podcast with Emily Mallon. I'm your host. I'm so happy you came back. Last week's show was so much fun. Thank you for your amazing messages, your support, your love. I read every message. I'm so happy to see the first episode has been so warmly received. It's scary coming back. I took a break from New York City K-pop queens to now, and I was worried. I was worried if anyone would watch. And if you read my newsletter, I got a little bit vulnerable and shared how scary all of this is. It's scary to start over. It's scary for me to be on camera. The whole thing, it's a new venture, and new beginnings are scary, but also exciting. I loved doing last week's episode. Meg was a dream guest. I'm so happy so many of you really enjoyed having Meg on the show with me. She will be back. Don't worry. Meg will be a regular contributor on Kpop Weekly. And a lot of you learned about photo cards, just like I did. I was so lost, and I came out of it with a new appreciation. I don't know if I'm going to be a collector or not, but I loved what we had the opportunity to learn last week. So shout out to Meg. What an amazing first episode. And a huge shout out to Queendom, my former listeners from New York City K-pop queens, who we lovingly referred to as Queendom. Thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. It means the world to me. It means a lot. It means a lot to have your support and your love. And I'm so, so grateful. So thank you all so much for supporting me in this new K-pop podcast, because I had to do it again. I had to talk about it. Tonight we have a fun show, and it's reviews. It's my thing, my bread and butter. I'm talking about music. I'm going to review 4 different artists tonight. So we're starting things off with Jungkook, 3D. I have a lot to say. And then I'm going to talk about ONEUS, Kep1er, and Dawn. Dawn put out something a few weeks ago that I just have to talk about. So we've got a variety of acts, a variety of music to discuss this week. I'm excited to get into reviews again. Last week we talked about The Rose. Shout out to them. The Rose finally charted on the Billboard 200. And not only charted, they debuted at 83. So that's great. Shows that their hard work is paying off, pounding the pavement and touring nonstop and really building a relationship with their fans. Nothing comes overnight in this industry and in this world. And they've kind of done it the right way. I'm so proud of them. Shout out to those guys. I want to introduce you all to the mascot of the show. This is my Pomeranian, Freddy Krueger. Freddy is a little Pomeranian with alopecia. So that's that's what's going on with this. This is his gorgeous skin. And Freddy loves music. He loves music. I play records and music all the time around the house. So Freddy's going to be picking some favorite songs. Freddy's opinion matters. But he's a little camera shy. And he says, I love this. Do you like being on camera? You say hi. Hi, everybody. Yeah. So this is my dog, Freddy. You guys will be seeing a little bit of him as the show goes on. Wanted to introduce you. Freddy is going to let you know his favorite tracks. Before we get started, before I get into the reviews this week, I'm going to be doing something on the show that it might be a train wreck. It might be amazing. That's the thing when you have a new show. There's a lot of testing. So those of you who are watching and listening from these first weeks and months, you're going to see it all. You're going to be like, I remember back when. And this is something I'm calling Fandom Face-off. So what this is, I'm online all day. I'm online so much. Like I'm sure a lot of you are. You go on social media and I see so many fandom wars, just really brutal, competitive fandom wars. And I'll be honest, I've definitely liked some tweets before that I'm not probably proud of because they were part of those fandom wars. And it's disheartening to me. I think fandom wars are a little bit disheartening because it's about the music and it's about supporting your faves. And you can support your faves without tearing down someone else and without tearing down somebody else's favorite group. The competitive nature of K-pop in general is something I don't like about the genre. I love K-pop, but this stuff gets to a point people dox each other. I mean, it's not cool. So what I want to do is give you a chance to say why your group is the best. And I'm challenging you all to do it in a way that doesn't tear the other person or the other group down. So Fandom Face-off is your chance to come on. There will be one representative for each of the groups or artists that I announce. So the first one, it's going to be Stays versus MOAs. Stray Kids versus T by T. I have seen you all going at each other on X. It gets pretty vicious. So I want to give one representative from each fandom a chance to come on the show and advocate for why your group is the best. And the challenge is to do that without tearing down the other side. I want Stay to come on here and passionately share why Stray Kids are the best without talking bad about T by T or MOA or doing the comparisons. Just amp up your artist. Just like spread love and light for your artist. It has nothing to do with the other side. Tell the world why Stray Kids are the best. Tell the world why T by T are the best boy group out there, the best group in the world. I want to show that all K-pop fans aren't immature and caught up in fan wars, and that we can communicate with kindness and enthusiasm instead of the hate and hiding behind a keyboard. Put your face out there. Come on the show. Be a representative for the fandom. Be a positive representative for the group. The way this is going to work, this I think is exciting because I just mentioned the first one, it's going to be Stray Kids and it's going to be T by T, MOA. So y'all know I talked about it last week. Stray Kids are one of my alts. I also love T by T, don't get me wrong, but I'm probably not a fair judge for this. So you're wondering how this will be judged. I have amazing friends here in LA. 99% of my friends are not into K-pop at all. In fact, I come from a comedy background. I know you wouldn't know it. Now I'm like obsessed with depressing songs and I don't know what happened. I used to be funny though, I swear. But I come from that background and most of my friends here in LA are actors, writers, comedians. So for Fandom Face-off, I will be bringing on one of them who have never listened to this music or seen a music video. And it's your job to convince them who the better group is. Is it Stray Kids? Is it T by T? To do this, you will get a short period of time to give your pitch. And prior to the show, you will send me one song and one music video that you think is the best representative of that group to introduce them to a new group. Because I know we all have that. I know the song and music video for Stray Kids, I'm going to show my friend who has never listened to K-pop and who doesn't even want to give it a chance. I will convert him with this. It's what we do. It's what we do as fans. So I don't think that is that hard. It's hard to narrow it down. I get it. But those are the parameters for this. So if you want to be involved, I would love to have you. Please don't be scared. It's time to step out into the light, stop hiding behind our keyboards, stop attacking people, stop doxing people, stop focusing on who the competition is for your favorite group, and start celebrating your faves and the music and what makes them wonderful. This is fun. We're doing it in a positive way. Yes, there will be a winner, but my goal is to have a positive conversation and to have all four people on camera get along and be positive representatives. You don't want Bang Chan to see you say something awful. No, we're not going to do that. And just to kind of up the ante, if the person, like let's say you're representing T by T and you come on and you say something negative about a member, you say something negative about the person that you're debating, You say anything that drags the other group, or as I would deem it, cuts below the belt. Like you go below the line, not only do you and your group automatically lose, you will not appear on camera. You will not be on the show or on the audio feed for that week. So that's like the ultimate embarrassment because you just handed the win to the other group, to the other fan, because you couldn't keep it classy. So I'm challenging you. Let's show the world every fan isn't crazy, isn't mean, not antis. Let's not be those people. Let's be people that celebrate our favorites. This is all in good fun. It's one person is going to decide it each time. This isn't a big voting thing. This isn't something that people need to go crazy competitive about. This is a way to showcase who your favorites are. And this is a way for you to get to be on Kpop Weekly. So if you're interested, if this sounds fun, I know I just sounded crazy strict going over the rules. I swear it'll be fun. I just am sick of the meanness and the attack mode that K-pop fans get into because you're so passionate and you love your faves so much. I get it. When people attack them, I get that your first instinct is to bark back, bite back. I'm with you, trust me. But I think at the end of the day, that's not the best representation of you as a fandom and as a person. And then people outside of the K-pop world look at it like, oh, they're crazy. We're not, we're passionate. So let's show our passion. Let's have fun. You get to meet a cool person. We'll be the judge, I promise. I already have some people lined up. So if you want to be involved, my social media is Kpop Weekly Pod, Pod. Slide into the DMs, or better yet, why don't you send me an email? That's the easiest way to apply. kpopweeklypod@gmail.com. So please slide into those DMs. I'm casting now. I'd like to get this first one done in a month in November. So you have time to prepare. This will be quick. It's not going to be like a 2-hour show. This would be like a 15-minute segment. Hopefully not too much pressure, but I know you guys have so much passion. Let's funnel it into something fun and something constructive and share your faves music with someone who's never heard it and who is open-minded and willing to listen. If you want to do it, let me know. Let me know and reach out. I'm excited. Hopefully I get some responses. So that's it. That's Fandom Face-off. We will be doing it probably, I want to say once every month to 2 months based on how this first one goes. I'm cautiously optimistic that we can keep it at least PG-13 and keep it happy and mature, but we'll see. Like I said, this is a new show. We're going to be trying stuff. Some of it'll work, some of it won't. I am so grateful for your patience as I come up the curve on technology and all of this. I've never done this stuff before. Of course, I produced and hosted K-pop Queens for 3 years, but that was audio. That was a different deal. So this is all a little bit new to me. I'm trying my best, and I'll get better, I promise you. But thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate you listeners and watchers now. Make sure you check it out on YouTube. I know a lot of you are used to just listening, but I have a YouTube channel now. Please check it out. I really appreciate the views and the support. Let's get to the show. I want to get to this. I know I said if I was doing reviews, I would do audio only, but I get it now. Audio is a little boring. There's some nuggets in the video. So if you want to check it out, there will be video content every week. If not, I will make an announcement the week before. Just a little side note, I'm going to be there. You're going to see me every week. Lucky you. Let's get to the show. I'm so excited to review new music. This is my thing. It's what I do. Music reviewer. I'm far from an influencer, but if you consider me a music influencer, I can influence you to listen to new music. That's the biggest compliment you can give me. The amount of people that listen to groups from recommendations and from reviews in the last podcast, that's perfect. That's the only type of influencer I ever want to be. for how I review stuff, if you don't know me, I want to be very clear. I try my best to do it in a way that explains why I like something or why I don't. But my whole thing is, if everything is good, then nothing's good. I'm not going to come out here and just say, I like it, it's great, it's the best song ever. You can't tell me that every single song your fave artist puts out is the best song ever. Then none of them are the best song because there can only be one best song. So I try to be a little more objective in it and just talk about it from a music standpoint, not from a personal artist standpoint. Of course, I have fave artists, but I'm going to be real. Sometimes they put out crap that maybe I don't love. And I'll be honest about it without low blows to the artist. I'll try my best to keep everything professional and fair and balanced. I also try to review people that maybe aren't on every podcast and in every article. So I'm really excited to talk about Don tonight. He is one that comes to mind that I think deserves a lot of press for this comeback, and I'm going to give it to him. But my reviews, that's how I do my reviews. If everything is good, then nothing's good. I also am not going to come on here and say stuff's bad for clout, for clicks, for engagement. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like I said last week, I love music. I'm a music nerd. I'm not someone who just listened to One Direction and emo. No shade, but I have a very different music background. If you want to know about it, go check out last week's episode. I talk about it. Let's get into it. Okay. This first one, I'm nervous. I'm nervous to even talk about this one because it's Jungkook. It's Jungkook, you guys. It's Jungkook featuring Jack Harlow. The song is called 3D. This is our second single from his upcoming album that will be released November 3rd. It's called Golden, the golden boy of K-pop. Okay. I'm going to come out and say this isn't my favorite song, and I'm going to explain why. But the positives, let me start with some positives. It's very catchy. I think there's a little bit of an earworm there that stays in your head. And when you do that, it makes people want to listen to the song again. So I think the formula worked in that way. And I think it's very commercial. This is a song that will be played on radio. This is a song that's very accepted by the American public. So those are some positives, depending on how you look at it. But the song just didn't work for me because I think it's a little. Okay. Sorry, this is hard because Jungkook was my first bias, my first alt, obsessed. BTS is who got me into K-pop. So don't get mad, Army. I'm definitely one of you. BTS is, again, watch last week's episode. You'll hear my K-pop journey, but they were the start of it and Jungkook was the start of it. So obviously I have a place for him in my heart and I root for him. I don't think this song uses his talent in the best way. He has amazing vocals. All of us know that. And this song doesn't showcase it at all. In fact, with all the effects they have on it, it almost feels like you could plug another singer into this song and it would sound the exact same. There were points when it didn't even sound like his voice to me. And in some ways, you could say that's good. They're trying new things. But Jungkook has so much color in his voice. He has such a beautiful voice that I wanted to hear more of it. I think we did hear it on 7, and I think on 3D, it was really kind of filtered out. This sounds a lot more cookie cutter, a basic American pop song that a lot of artists could have been plugged into. I see the inspiration of where they're going. I thought 7 was heavily inspired by 7 Days by Craig David. I think this one is heavily inspired by Justin Timberlake's debut. So for those of us old enough to remember when Justin Timberlake solo debuted, he was from a very popular boy band, as most of you know, NSYNC, and then he went solo. And his debut was called Justified. And Pharrell Williams produced, I think, not all of the songs, but he produced a lot of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. but I know Pharrell was in the studio and he produced a lot of the hits. This sounds very similar. Specifically, musically, there's a little bit of Senorita in there, and even like I Love You. But I think what Pharrell did with Justin, he kept some soul and some personality in there. It wasn't so watered down that you could plug a million different singers. Other singers would have sounded different on Senorita. Justin's color and his voice shone through a little bit more, whereas Jungkook on 3D, it doesn't. It's they watered it down his talent. I don't think it works, but clearly they're going for American Western late 90s, early 2000s sound and vibe. I'm not mad at that. I don't mind that inspiration at all, but it doesn't feel unique or exciting. So that's kind of See my mug. I have a lot of cookie merch. Like Meg said last week, some of my K-pop stuff is hidden. Sometimes boys come to my apartment and I keep it chill. But I do have a lot of things like this. And obviously, Jungkook's one of my favorites. Sorry, you'll see this mug. Drinking tea, gotta keep the voice coated. A little allergy issue going on with me. So, anyways, I wasn't a huge fan of the lyrics. I'm gonna get to Jack Harlow's verse here in a second. But lyrically, it's very, 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 very basic. The song, it sounds like a sixth grader wrote it. It really, to me, the lyrics are so basic. And this isn't a knock on Jungkook. He didn't write this song. He's the performer. I don't know how much choice he had in specifically picking this. Obviously, English isn't his first language anyway, so someone on his team should have done a better job with the lyrical content of the song. There's one part where he just goes body to body to body to body to body. You and me, baby, we got it. So don't get me started because you know I'm hot hearted. Come on. Come on. I mean, it's so basic and juvenile. And again, if a sixth grader wrote this, I'd be like, that's actually pretty good. All right. You know, but I mean, adults wrote this song. It's so basic. It's so basic. I then so if a sixth grader wrote the lyrics, then his like little juvenile delinquent friend came in and did this rap verse because Jack Harlow's verse is a little problematic. I understand fans that are unhappy with this song, and I think they have reason to be. It's hard to say what's offensive and what's not. That's a personal thing. Some people get offended by something. Some people say, I don't mind at all. For me, I think the lyrics are gross. I think they are misogynistic. I was very, very, very disappointed in this. And I want to be clear too, like I don't have a massive issue with Jack Harlow. I liked that song that he sampled, like the Fergie Glamorous sample. I actually thought that song was pretty good. Like that whole thing, it was good. I totally thought that was like, it was, I got why it was popular. He's very commercial radio friendly. He's very Western friendly. So I get it. And I'm not hating on him as a person, but I think the lyrics in his verse, I don't like. I don't like this. And I'm going to share with you why. And for those of you that haven't heard the song, here are some of the lovely lyrics from 3D. I had one girl, too boring. Two girls, that was cool for me. Three girls, damn, dude's horny. Four girls, okay, now you're whoring. Jack, come on. Come on. Like, I guess he's in third person calling himself a whore. I get it. But do you see what I mean about like a sixth grader juvenile delinquent wrote this? Like it's so basic. There's nothing sexy or cool about it. On his next verse, he really gets gross and says that he got you playing with yourself on camera. Gross. Gross. He also calls women thoughts. I mean, it's like dirty stuff that a young middle school boy would think is cool. I think you can be sexy, you can rap about sex, you can rap about all of this stuff in a way that isn't just gross. Playing with yourself on camera, really? Come on. Come on. It's just, no, I'm not here for any of this. I think it's misogynistic and really it's just like lame. It's just not well done. Like, there are a lot of offensive songs. There are a lot of songs about sex. I talked about last week. I love hip hop. I came up on hip hop. It's my favorite thing in the world. So I'm well versed on disgusting misogynistic rap songs and verses, but at least the beat is good. At least some of the flow and some of those verses hit. This is just like nothing really works on this. It's also like, this is nitpicky about the lyrics, but he says it's a news story if he holds someone's hand. Did I miss that? Is he blowing up the gossip sites and I missed it? Because honestly, like, unless you're holding Taylor Swift's hand, nobody cares who you're dating. I've never seen a tabloid story. Maybe it's he's secreting it into the world. He wants that for himself. I don't know. But I was just like, who are you lying about? Like, come on, dude. Nah. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's tons of tabloid stories out there about Jack Harlow that I've never seen. But you're not someone that everyone talks about in dating scandals. So I don't know. His obviously, obviously, I could talk about this all night. His verse did not work for me. It did not work at all. He brings up an Asian stereotype called ABG. That stands for Asian baby girls. And some people have found that offensive. For those of you who don't know what it is and why it could be offensive, my friend, a journalist named Daniel Anderson, he kind of wrote an explainer about it. So I'll be sure to link that so you can read about it and kind of come up on it. But that's something other people didn't really love in his verse. And I think people always have the right to be offended and say, wait a minute. It's fine. You can be offended and people can still keep doing what they're doing. But I always think people have the right to voice, you know what? I don't like this. And screw you for saying that. That's actually really offensive to me. And there's a lot in this song that gives people the right to say that. So disappointing. It's from the same writer as Dynamite, a little song by BTS you may have heard of. So I'm not shocked at the kind of formulaic nature of it. I totally get it. And Dynamite, it had lyrics about drinking milk. I mean, it was also very juvenile lyrically. So I'm not totally surprised by that. But it just, I couldn't believe when I listened to it. Like, oof. Yeah, it doesn't work. And this is like so specific, but have any of you seen the show called The Other Two? It's a comedy and it's about this brother and sister and their little brother becomes a pop star. And it's kind of a spoof on like a Justin Bieber type. And they do songs like in the show. It's funny. Go watch it. But his name is Chase Dreams. And this to me sounds like a song that Chase Dreams would sing. So if you know what I'm talking about, it's really watered down, manufactured American pop made for the radio. Okay. So every song doesn't have to be a sonata. Every song doesn't have to be deep. It just, for me, was disappointing for those reasons. And I think if you're one of these people that's going off about Jack Harlow, you also need to kind of maybe hold your favorite artist accountable because it's his song. It's not, Jungkook had to have known what Jack Harlow was saying and what the song was about, and he signed off on it. He's doing it. So I don't think it's fair to think that Jungkook isn't intelligent enough or he's so naive he has no clue what the rapper is saying. This is his song. So if you're offended by Jack Harlow, but you're saying, let's still support Jungkook, Jungkook's part is fine. I don't know, guys. It's all the same song. So you can't pick and choose who gets a pass and who doesn't just because it's your favorite K-pop boy. Just my opinion, but yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed that this was something that Jungkook decided to put out. I get it. You guys, Jungkook's having sex. I don't know if you've heard, But it's clear Jungkook he is not a little boy. He's not the youngest one in BTS anymore. He is a handsome guy in his 20s, and he is out there having sex 7 days a week, just doing it up. Okay. I mean, I don't think, again, I don't think the subject matter is what's not great. I think it's just how basic the song sounds, how they stripped any personality from his vocal performance, and how they put a mid rapper on a song where you didn't need a mid rapper. Jungkook doesn't need American and Western artists featured. He can do songs by himself and still get Billboard #1 and still sell records. I feel like he's kind of being used by the American record industry and seems okay with it. It's disappointing. And that's only to me. Like, Jungkook's going to be, this stuff is American pop star. They have washed away everything K-pop related. I'm going to get to the music video in a second, but this is American pop star. This is Jungkook, the American pop star. And again, for some people, that's awesome. For him, he's good. If that's what he wants, he's going to be the biggest star out of BTS. He's going to make tons of money. He's going to set records. He's going to win awards. So, hey, I get it. I understand. Just me personally, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm a little bit disappointed because I know how talented he is. And I think for someone who doesn't know Jungkook, if this is what they're seeing, they're not going to understand the full scope of how talented he is. So I'm hoping on the new album, we get some stuff that gives us his voice a little bit more. And, you know, if the whole album's about sex, let's be clever with it. Let's do some R&B songs that are actually sexy, not this type, not like schoolboy crudeness. It was crude. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to the music video. I actually liked this music video. I wasn't a massive fan of 7 because I didn't think it went with the song. I think for 7, they should have done a music video similar to Zayn. Zayn did one for a song called Love Like This. It was so sexy and cool and fantastic. I think for a song like 7 by Jungkook, the music video maybe in that direction I would have enjoyed more. I liked the funeral scene. That was funny. There was nice interaction there with Watto. I liked that, but I didn't love the music video. I thought it didn't go with the song very well. This one I think does go with the song. It works. It's very TRL, late 90s, early 2000s feel. The set reminds me of Christina Aguilera, Little Kim, Can't Hold Us Down. I like the styling, the motorcycle jacket, the black outfit. Jungkook looks fantastic. He looks great. They definitely played it safe fashion-wise. Again, this isn't like fashion-forward K-pop. This is basic American, turn it down. So, you know, not exciting. But I thought he looked great. The choreography is good. Some of the moves are great. I like this little one, dancing in the rain. Come on. Like, yes, I'm here for it. I liked the music video. Water dancing always wins. Y'all know this. Yes, I'm never going to be mad at a handsome guy dancing in the rain. Do it up. I liked the music video. I did. So I think it works. The music video works. I think Jungkook looks good. But I just want more of him and some better material. Like, they have access to every songwriter on the planet. Why is this what you're picking out? Why is it I don't know. I just feel like a better song. He needs a better song. This wasn't it for me. My opinion doesn't matter. This is going to do numbers. He's going to be massively successful. I just want to see his ability and his talent be used in a way that's undeniable. I don't want to see him be looked at as a manufactured pop star, like most American pop stars are viewed. But it doesn't matter. They all make money. They all do numbers. They all have tons of fans. This is very specific and just kind of my thoughts around it. 3D did not work for me. Interested to know what you think. I've been talking to my K-pop friends and opinions kind of go all over the place, but I think most people have a feeling that maybe it wasn't their favorite song. And I don't know. Interested to see how this one holds up. I can't wait for that album. I'm nervous for the album. I'm excited for it, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I love you, Jungkook. I genuinely love you, and I'm rooting for you. And I hope that you get to do songs that just show the world what you can do. It was a little too watered down and restrained and westernized for me. Let's do something spectacular on this album. I will be reviewing the album for you guys. Keeping an open mind, 3D just wasn't my bag. Let's move on. Let's keep it going. I want to talk about ONEUS. For those of you not familiar with ONEUS, they originally debuted as a 6-member boy group on RBW in 2019. Now they're down to 5 members. I've reviewed ONEUS before, and I liked them. I always was like, oh, they're good. And then I saw them in Las Vegas this year at the We Bridge Music Festival, and they blew me away. I walked away they were kind of the highlight for me because their performance was phenomenal. Really athletic attack dance moves. So if you're ever on the fence about seeing ONEUS live, go see them because I liked them, but they weren't like one of my alt groups. And I was blown away by them at We Bridge in Las Vegas. So I've seen them live. I'm a fan. The new EP, it's called La Dolce Vita. It's 4 songs plus a Spanish language version of the single. The single is Baila Conmigo. I want to talk about this. It's a sexy Latin song. Lido starts things off with these breathy vocals. Really nice vocal performance from Lido. If you're not familiar, he's like this super masculine rapper in the group. And he starts off the single confidently with good vocals. Like, I thought his vocal performance was great in this. Seho slays the vocals per usual. So good. I love the Spanish trumpet in this song. I kind of wish they would have used it more. I think there's a missed opportunity. Really, you could have punched up the song even more with that sound. That sound is so unique for a K-pop song, and it's really nice and kind of continues the tone of this song. So I wanted a little more of that Spanish trumpet. It's a sexy Latin dance track. They all deliver vocally. They always do. I will say it's not my favorite ONEUS track. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's the best song ever. There are certain songs that they've put out that I like more, but I don't dislike it. If I was to grade this, I'd give it like a B. It's good. It's not A plus, but it's good. It's good. Music video, however, yes, I loved this music video. That opening formation is interesting because they're kind of like highlighting the height difference between the main dancer, which is Hwanwoong, and the taller members of the group. They do this thing like this, and he's kind of in the center. I liked that. I thought it was interesting that they weren't shying away from the height difference. It was embracing that he is smaller, and that's okay. At least that's how I took it. I love the gold glitter effect into water, the green floor. Great transitions. The choreography slays. I just talked about how good they are at live performance and dancing. I love this choreography. It's so good. I like the rhythm and the hip movement. I also like the moves where they look like they're dancing with someone. That's really cool. I love that. I thought that was really cool. It was a little bit different. The choreography was a little more rhythmic here, not just tons of fast, sharp movements. And I'm always a little partial to that. I like groups that have some rhythm and can groove. So I liked this choreography. Lido, correct me if I'm wrong, but is Lido giving Wonho vibes to anyone else? Wonho from Monsta X. He's really, you got to close the gyms, guys. You need to close the gyms in Korea. Some of these boys are out of control. And he is out of control. He is jacked in this video. The styling works. I think the styling's great. Their music videos always work for me. Maybe that's because they're great dancers. I loved the colors. I liked the blues and the greens and that purple kind of gradient room where they were all looking up. Loved it. Powerful dance break at the end. I like this music video. The music video, and this happens a lot in K-pop, but the music video made me like the song more. I think the song's just okay. I think the music video is really good. And my kind of thing with ONEUS is I think they're better than the songs they're given. The songs are good, but I think they deserve an amazing song because they're so talented. Vocally, they always deliver, and they're amazing dancers. They're handsome. They have a lot going for them. So I just think next single, I would love like a really impactful, great one. This one was good, but let's talk about the rest of the album though, because I did like another song on the album a little bit more. And again, there's only 4 songs, so I don't really have album picks because there's only 4. So if I had to pick, it would be the single. And then my favorite song was one called Simulation. It has this heavy feel with this piano and bass. The bass almost sounds like a standing bass, like a double bass or a cello. I'm not sure, but for me, that's the sound I felt. And that's such a different feeling. It's sexy. This is sexy, but not like stripper sexy. This is like cabaret, kind of slinky. Like there's something here that's a little bit more refined, a little bit more mature. The scene is set in this one, and I love that. I love picturing a room, and they set a tone and they set a scene in this one. So I love Simulation. I thought this was my favorite song on the album. And I love the back and forth, the difference in their voices, because the thing I will say about ONEUS's voices, they're so polished. They're clear, they're polished. There's not a lot of like grit vocally. So you have these clear, beautiful vocals. And then you have Lido coming in with a very gruff voice in his rap. It's in this song similar to Mingy from ATEEZ. I love the juxtaposition between those two. The smooth vocals and then this rough. It works so well. It works. Mwah. Love it. Love it. I thought it was really effective. The whole thing was produced really well. I was just talking about they need a great song. Let's go this route. Let's go this route, ONEUS. I am here for this. And I would have loved to have seen a music video for Simulation. Yes. I think Epilogue has a familiar sound that's a bit soothing. I like the music. The guitar and the verse is nice. The chorus feels a bit retro, but like in a way, like a K-drama from the 90s or something. Epilogue may not be the best song ever, but it was pleasant. It was pleasant. The intro, good. Didn't love it. I think Simulation is my favorite song from this album. So now I'm going to rank them. It's time for my rankings. Every week when I do a review, I rank the songs on the album from my least favorite to my favorite. This is first listen. This will change. These are my initial gut reactions as I listen, what stood out to me. Coming in at number 5, I'm going to say Baila Conmigo, the Spanish version, just because it's a different version of the single. It's not a different song. I also want to point out that they did sing in Spanish as well as Korean in the single, which is smart. There's so much English language, but I love when these groups are doing Spanish language because Latin America loves K-pop, supports K-pop, and it's also a smart business move. You don't have to cater everything to the US and the United States. There's a massive market with Spanish speaking fans all over the world. So I think this is just smart. Okay, so my number 5, for that reason, number 5 on La Dolce Vita by ONEUS, Baila Conmigo, the Spanish version. Number 4 is Intro Begging You. Number 3, Epilogue. Number 2 was the single, Baila Conmigo. And my number 1 song off this new EP from ONEUS is Simulation. Go check it out, guys. It's fantastic. I love it. This was a good project. Again, all of their projects, I rarely dislike a ONEUS release. I also think I rarely am blown away by all of the songs. They're good. What makes them great is the live performance. What makes them great, the vocal quality and what they bring to the table. They're also very charismatic. I was lucky enough to see a lot of the meet and greet and press and everything else with them at Wheat Bridge Festival and Expo in Las Vegas this past year. They were charming. They were charismatic. There's a lot here to like. This group is underrated. So show them some love. And if you ever get a chance to see them in person, go. Go, go, go. Now it's time to talk biases. I'm going to tell you my bias and record for each group because it's fun, because it's K-pop and we all love talking biases. So my bias is Kyeonki, and my record is Seo. Forgive me for my pronunciation. I'm so bad at pronunciation because, as you know, the way things are written isn't how it sounds because there's different, like a lot of different sounds for a vowel in our language. I will get better. I will get better. If anyone knows where I can take a Korean class here in LA, I learn better in like an actual classroom environment. I would love to go sit with a tutor or sit in a class. So hit me up, please. I know my pronunciation's awful. I'm trying and I want to get better. I love ONEUS. They're so talented. They do have tons of great songs. So please go support ONEUS if you aren't already. They're great. I'm a fan and I liked this comeback. So congratulations to you guys. Let's move on. Lots to review tonight, and I'm excited about these next two. The next one is Kep1er. Kep1er, if you don't know them, they're a 9-member girl group formed on the competition show Girls Planet in 2021. So this is an EP. There's 5 songs. The single is called Galileo. I love this. I love this song. I think it's so good. It's just like pure fun. This is on my morning K-pop playlist. This is happy, infectious K-pop. It's so good, you guys. It has this like disco sound. There's that clap beat in the pre-chorus, and then the layered vocals in the chorus. Love it. It's so good. Gonna butcher some names here. Apologies, but Chaehyun and Chaehyun and Youngoon, they kill that chorus. Those ladies kill the chorus. I loved the chorus. The bass line is such a groove. Before the bridge, there's a nice vocal moment, a nice kind of pure moment. And then you have this bombastic stuff come in that says, "Come and watch me shine." I like the bridge on this song so much. I think the whole thing, it's a pick me up. It's pick me up, fun K-pop. I think Kep1er is killing it. I loved Giddy. I saw Kep1er at KCON. Did you guys go to KCON? KCON was great this year. Actually, my guest last week, Meg, we went to KCON together and we recorded a whole show about it. That was going to be the debut. But unfortunately, my computer died. I had to buy a new computer and wait like 3 weeks for it. Too much time passed, but I will be putting that episode up at a later date so you can listen to it. It's going to be some bonus material. But anyways, we saw Kep1er and I loved Kep1er. You know, I liked Giddy, but I wasn't exactly a massive fan just because I was unfamiliar. And when you're a K-pop multi, you only have the bandwidth to stand so many groups. So there are a lot of groups I like that I wouldn't say I stand, but at KCON, they killed it. I loved them. I thought they were so on point with their choreography. They were very cute. They did a cover of Girls' Generation, Mr. Mister. Loved it. I love Girls' Generation. Just so you know, if I could be in any girl group, any K-pop girl group, it's Girls' Generation. I think they're the standard. I think they're the prettiest, coolest, most amazing girls. And I love Mr. Mister. So it was surprising that Kep1er did a cover of that. And they crushed it. And that made me love them more. So I'm a fan of this group now. And Giddy, I always loved. That's such a great song. But Galileo, ooh, I might like it even more. It's so good, you guys. I love this song. I'm so hyped on it. Music video fits perfectly with the song. It's young, it's energetic, it's bright. I love that they're doing karaoke and then they go into this like magical photo booth and it kind of transports them into this other world. A lot of purple, a lot of pink. It's very girly, it's very cute. And if you know me, I'm not like a massive fan of cutesy concepts, but I liked this. I thought this worked really well. The white outfits in the pink room are probably my favorite, but overall the styling worked. I love the moment of shouting. She's sitting on a rooftop looking at the moon, and the moon is like purple and it's kind of these purple outlines moving. The visuals of this are beautiful. And I thought that was such a stunning visual. She's gorgeous. Their choreography is always fun and cute. I will say for this song, I maybe would have put more of a groove to it instead of just the hand movements and kind of cute formations. But that's their thing. You know, they do really intricate hand movements and cute formations and stuff. So I totally get it. And I thought the choreography worked. Fantastic. Fantastic. Galileo is so good. I'm obsessed. It's definitely one of the 5 songs I'm obsessed with this week. If you want to know the rest, make sure you read the newsletter. I put out a newsletter the moment the podcast drops on Friday, the newsletter drops. So I'm going to give you a hint. Galileo's on it. Let's talk about the rest of the EP. So again, there's only 5 songs on this. Galileo is my favorite, but I also really liked a subunit song called Tape. It has this cool kind of British girl group from the early 2000s like sound. I know that that's very specific, but it reminds me of something you would have heard back then. Maybe a little All Saints-ish. Love it. I like that sound. There's some R&B mixed in. That's a compliment. I really like it. And that's a subunit song. So I think this was a great comeback for them. I think this is a really effective comeback, and I think it's hard to follow up a song like Giddy. They just killed it. Galileo for me is so good. Congratulations, Kep1er. Another amazing song, music video, and choreography. It's very memorable. I don't have a strong bias in this group. A lot of times for me, different girls stand out based on the comeback. I do like Chaehyun's vocals. I think vocally, she's my favorite with this comeback. But I thought shouting looked so gorgeous. The pink hair, her face card does not decline. So she's up there. That's like bias and bias wrecker for me in Kep1er, but they're all 9 of these members are so cute. They have great stage presence. They work well together as a team. They were impressive at KCON. I'm a fan. So congratulations to Kep1er. The EP, it's called Magic Hour from Kep1er. Here are my songs ranked upon first listen. Number 5, Tropical Light. Number 4, The Door. Number 3, Love on Lock. Number 2 was Tape. And my number 1 song from this comeback, no surprise, Galileo. These ladies slayed. This was a great comeback. I loved it. Keep doing your thing. If you haven't listened to this song yet, I highly recommend it. Maybe I'll put it on a playlist. I've heard you guys are missing the playlist that I used to do on New York City K-pop Queens. For those of you that don't know, I used to make a playlist of every song I talked about each week. So you had an easy reference. You didn't have to look it up yourself. Maybe I'll do that again. We'll see. But until then, go check out Galileo from Kep1er. Time to move on. I want to talk about Dawn. Some of you might not be familiar with Dawn, Dawn. He debuted in 2016 under the name Edon. He was a rapper in Pentagon on Cube Entertainment. I love Pentagon. Fans of my old podcast will know that. I think Pentagon is so slept on. Feeling like that album was one of my favorite K-pop albums of all time. So slept on. Anyways, Dawn was put on hiatus when he began a relationship with his label mate Hana in 2018. They decided to leave the label and stay together. There's a famous video of them walking out of the building, holding hands and kissing, kind of a love wins moment. They weren't going to break up and apologize to fans. It was a huge deal in K-pop, and it made them icons in a lot of ways because of it. They then went to Psy's label P Nation. They released solo and music together. Got engaged, but they broke up. They're no longer a couple, and they both have left P Nation. Dawn is now on Act Area. It's a subsidiary of Higher Music. He teamed up with those guys. The producing team is called Groovy Duo on this new project. So it's an EP called Narcissus. I had no idea what to expect from this, to be honest, because I wasn't a massive fan of what he did with P Nation. It kind of felt like a caricature. It just wasn't my type of visuals or music. No shade at all, but it just wasn't for me. So I wasn't sure what to expect. I kind of thought, it's probably going to be more of that. But I wanted to listen to it because I root for him. Okay. They're calling this an EP, but it's 8 songs, 8 full songs. There's good features on it. And a lot of groups have released less and called it a full album. To me, this feels like a full album. The title is kind of a play on, Greek mythology, on narcissism, fell in love with the mirror, fell in love with himself. But he kind of said it's more about falling in love and mirroring someone else and like finding yourself and your way in the process. Let's talk about this song, Heart. I love the song. It's 80s synth sound that brings to mind a little bit of Jackson Wang's Drive You Home. Vocally, he's hitting Weekend notes. Vocally, his tone sounds like The Weeknd, and I'm not mad at it. That drum build in the pre-chorus is so good. It's smooth, it's sexy, and there's definitely a tinge of darkness that's like, to be honest, it's irresistible. This is my type of music. I love it. It really reminds me of a Weeknd song. And it's the last thing I expected from him. This was the rapper, and this was the guy that was doing the ping pong song. Like, I wasn't expecting this, and it's such a pleasant surprise. But on top of just being a pleasant surprise, this is good. This is really good stuff. So, out of everything I reviewed tonight, I'm going to push you the most to listen to this album, to give Dawn a chance. And I think once you watch the music video, you're going to understand why I'm passionate about this. This music video is so impactful. It's so cool. His dancing feels like freestyle. It feels like he's just letting out his emotions through dance. It doesn't feel like choreography. And the rhythmic thing he does before he starts running, coolest thing. I was blown away. Like this album, like the single, it's so unexpected and it absolutely kills. I love, love, love this song. I love, love, love this music video. So many interesting movements. And there's the moments like when he walks by a version of himself that seemed to be happy, when he gets hit by a car, he gets shot with arrows, he's dancing shirtless and bleeding. I know it sounds gruesome, and part of it is, but it's really powerful, and it's powerful in how simple it all is. I think anyone who's walked with the pain of a broken heart can relate to this and can appreciate it. It's very, very powerful. It feels authentic. It feels like this is him. I want to applaud him. I'm moved by this, and I feel like this means something. It's really, really good. And he's also, not that this is what it's about, but this is a K-pop podcast, so we know how visuals are important. He's never looked better. He looks great. He looks really, really great. So I applaud him for being so personal. I applaud him for putting himself out there and being vulnerable. It's just another lesson, for me at least, but maybe for all of us, that like being vulnerable and putting yourself out there, putting your pain out there, and sharing your authentic self, sometimes the results can be pretty freaking amazing. And I think here they are. So I'm a massive fan of this. The album is phenomenal. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a no skip album. No skip. Listen to the whole thing. There isn't one song on here I disliked. It was hard for me to do the rankings, but a few of them grabbed me more initially. My picks off this album are Star, Falling, Really every single one. Abyss, I loved. Memory, Seasons, I love, I don't. There's a lot of features that work on Falling. He has a feature with the rapper Peach1. This is romantic. This is a really fresh sound. The beat in the first chorus is bare. Just that bass. And then more instrumentation comes in. Really effective. Really well done. Romantic and dreamy. And P1's verse is so cute. I love him. I love his dog. That's a side note, but shout out to him. This song to me is what love should feel like. It hit my heart. It gave me kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling. So, and I didn't realize it was in English until I looked up the lyrics. It's funny how that happens sometimes because for me, music is such a feeling. And if the song's well done, I don't need the lyrics. I know what it's about, you know? So I'm never obsessed with looking up the lyrics first thing. I want to take in the song first. But, anyways, it's also in English. So that was interesting. Star is gorgeous. It features 10 cm, 10 centimeters. Not familiar, but honestly, so talented. That sad piano. I'm hooked in the first couple notes. That sad piano. This is emotional. There's life behind this, there's force behind this. But the restraint in the performance and the production is impressive. I don't. Cool song. I love it when you can hear fingers sliding on the frets of guitars. That's just a very specific thing, but for whatever reason, that sound is like really soothing to me. It's that song I love. Seasons. I'm so here for this groovy duo. Shout out to you guys. I am so here for these producers. Love the production, the beats. They're amazing. Seasons is another love song featuring Gemini, great vocalist. It's mid-tempo, it's happy. Gemini's tone, it's so pretty, and he sounds great. But Don holds his own with him. And if you know Gemini, you know he's a wonderful vocalist. So I loved this one. I thought this one was great. Sorry, I just realized I'm talking with my hands a lot. Still getting used to video, and I'm like, sorry about that. I need to like talk about restrain. I need to restrain myself down here. I'm emotional. I like music. Okay. Memory is great. Vulnerable vocals. I love the drawn out eye in the chorus. Kim Sehol has a mysterious quality about her voice. She's featured on this, and it made me want to lean in and listen more. The acoustic guitar and the stripped down arrangement really served the storytelling on this song. Well done. Abyss, great sound to finish the album. This is such a great way to tie up the album. Those floating vocals. This is like an after hours kind of vibing song. Heaven or hell, I'll be right there with you. Yes, I'm here for this. I think it's beautiful and it kind of walks you through different stages of relationships. It's relatable, it's vulnerable, it's emotional, but there's also songs like Abyss that are just such a vibe. I don't want to turn you off like this is some heavy, emotional, depressing album. It's really not. It's really a beautiful album. I love this. And Don's vocals, phenomenal. To think that he was cast as a rapper in Pentagon, he can sing, and it's so wonderful to hear these vocals. This is an ambitious project and it completely works. I'm so proud of him. I'm excited about this. I feel excited like I found a new artist that I'm really passionate about. And that's the best feeling. So yeah, I'm here for this and I'm a fan now. I stand on and I can't wait to hear more. I can't wait to see more. Um really impressed. To me, this project came out of nowhere, and I can't believe how good it is. And from the discussions I've had with friends, I am not the only one. People are vibing to this. So if you're like me, if maybe you were familiar with him, but you kind of expected it to be like like older stuff, it's not. Give this one a chance. It's so good. These are the 8 songs from Dawn's new EP, Narcissist, ranked. Number 8, Lullaby. Number 7, Memory. Number 6, Seasons. Number 5, Abyss. Number 4, I Don't. Number 3 was Heart. Number 2 is Star. And my favorite song from Dawn's new album features PH1, and it's called Falling. Check this stuff out, you guys. It's so good. Congratulations to him. I'm such a huge fan. This was impressive. Okay, let's get to the news. You know, K-pop never stops. Here's what's going on. Blackpink's Jennie, she's finally releasing her song You and I. I'm excited to hear it. She's performed it on tour for a while now, but it's never been released as a single. So this Friday, the 6th, the day that this podcast drops, there's a million new songs coming out. She added to it, making it hard on me and everyone else that reviews this stuff. There's so much coming out, but that'll be a hit. MTV EMA nominations were announced. The European version of the VMAs, the European Music Awards, pretty similar to the American VMAs, with HYBE artists garnering a ton of nominations. Jungkook and T each had 3 nominations. The nominations for Best K-pop, Jungkook, T 50/50, New Jeans, 17, and Stray Kids. You know, a lot of people are upset that Stray Kids only got 1 nomination. From what I know, they are huge in Europe. I also think Kpop is pretty big, and they've had a big year. So it's weird to me that they're not getting nominated for anything. Yeah, kind of justice for those guys. They're pretty good. NCT Dream, Idol, and P1 Harmony are set to perform at different stops at this year's Jingle Ball. So in LA, I believe we're getting P1 Harmony and Idol. You know, it's a different lineup in each city. This is a big radio station concert in December. I think it's in like maybe 6 different cities. I don't remember, but we've got a couple of K-pop acts this year, so that's exciting. Speaking of ENHYPEN, comeback in November. October and November are so stacked. I'm already stressed about the production slate on who I'm going to review. There's a lot. There's a lot happening in K-pop. Get ready. G-Dragon, the legend, has left YG. He was with that label for so long. This is big news. Interesting development. Soul from P1 Harmony has a leg injury. Want to send him well wishes. I hope that he heals. And the biggest thing is just take care of yourself. No rush. Please take care of yourself because he's such an amazing dancer, you guys. Like, K-pop needs him. K-pop needs P1 Harmony, to be honest. Jungmin has departed from NCT's yet to debut new boy group. They're kind of the one that we've all been calling NCT Tokyo, the Japanese subunit. He departed. So there were some health reasons, some undisclosed reasons, but they decided that he would not be a part of the group. I want to end this week's episode saying a massive happy birthday to Bang Chan, the leader of Stray Kids. His 26th birthday was this week. Kind of drives me nuts that he's that young and he's this accomplished and he's this talented. If you haven't seen Ryan Reynolds, he makes different edits every year for Bang Chan's birthday. He's definitely like #1 fan. It's so cute. It's so endearing. And he made a great one this year. So check that out. It's all over the timeline, whatever social media you use. It'll be easy to find. But happy birthday, Bang Chan. I'm just going to say it. Best leader. Absolutely love you. And yeah, thank you for being a positive light in so many people's lives. And thank you for all you do. Love you. Okay, next week. Next week is stacked. I will for sure be doing a review of NCT 127. I'm so excited about that release. Idol, the girl group, they've got their first English language album. I'm going to be reviewing that. Maybe some other stuff. Let's see. It's going to be a fun one. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this. There's a lot coming. I ask you to be patient. If you want to be part of Fandom Face-off, please reach out. It's going to be fun. It sounded so serious in the intro. Sorry about that. If you're a stay or a MOA, that's going to be the first one. Email, slide into the DMs. It's Kpop Weekly Pod on all of your social media. And then the email address is @gmail. Please subscribe to the newsletter too. There's a free subscription, you guys. So please subscribe. I get personal in the newsletter, and I'll also share with you my 5 songs I'm obsessed with this week. It's really helpful for me when you guys engage with the content. So if you like a video or, for example, playlists, if you like the playlist, please just heart that playlist on Spotify. It lets me know what the audience likes and doesn't like, because that's kind of how I skew what I'm going to work on. I only have so many hours in the day, and I want to make sure I'm giving you content that you're interested in. It would be so helpful to me if you guys can comment under the YouTube video or follow on Spotify or like the newsletter if you like it. I'm not saying begging for those comments, but I appreciate the follows. I definitely appreciate subscribers on YouTube and that like button. Okay, that's the show for this week. Thank you so, so much for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. Um, I'm trying and things will get better with the show, but I'm really excited. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be talking about music. It's my favorite thing. Music is my favorite thing in the world. And to be able to talk about it and share my opinion and share my passion with you guys, it means the world to me. So thank you for welcoming me into your homes, into your lives, and onto your screens, into your ears. I don't take it for granted that anyone in the world cares what I have to say. And shout out to everyone I reviewed tonight. Shout out to all the creators. I might not like something. It's subjective. You might not like this. It doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean that that song's bad. It means I didn't like it. So, no shade to anyone. I'm just trying to be real and honest and tell you what vibes with me. But I appreciate you all so much for being here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's go on this K-pop journey together. There's a lot of fun stuff coming. Please be patient. I I only have so many hours in the day, but I'm excited for what's to come. So thank you so much for your love and support. And I will talk to you and see you next week. I love you guys. Bye.